afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is Brian here with Connecting Communities and Mr. Andrew Duncan. I'm probably not very good at that. Good afternoon. How are you, Andrew?
I'm doing great, Brian. How about yourself?
I'm just looking at myself and I'm a little patchy, which means that my lighting must be off. So I'm going to try to turn up this light. I've struggled. Oh, there we go. Whoa, there I am. I have struggled with, oh, is that better? There we go. My dog, good old Rocco, has ate my light. So apparently things on the floor are his. So if we don't want him to eat it, we have to put it in a basket or some sort of like that. And that's kind of how we've trained him. Our shoes are in a basket. He doesn't touch them. He does go after Jackson's hat that has a ball on top. Every morning that we leave for school, I come back and it's sitting on the couch. But other than that, he's been really good. But however, this light somehow ended up on the floor. So therefore, if it's on the floor, it was his.
That is pretty much a rule of a dog. If it is on the floor, it is in his domain.
Yeah, so I couldn't be too mad. I was mad, but I can't be too mad. So my lighting's a little off, so hopefully that helps it and it doesn't pixelate me. Apparently this is picking up the green, so why don't we do that? There we go. Oh, I feel like I have like this hologram that's like coming out of my chest over here. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. You probably don't know who Andrew is. Well, if you don't, let me tell you, you're going to in the next 28 minutes, unless you turn this off and don't listen to us. But that's kind of silly to tune in and then just turn it off, right? But in case that's the case, we will email this to you as well, so you can listen to it at another point in time. Andrew, with that being stated, why don't you tell us a little about yourself? Tell us why you do what you do and what is it that you do?
Well, as I like to tell people, I'm the modern day vampire, the old insurance agent. Got to invite me in, woo-ha-ha, like the vampire. But I do all
or is that
forms
Count
of
Dracula?
insurance.
Two insurance agents.
Well, I mean, we could totally see about getting Sesame Street, to voice over on that. I mean, he was one of my favorite
characters. Copyright though. Yeah, we probably can't afford that.
Probably not. But I'm a property casualty, life and health, as well as business insurance, personal lines carrier. I work for Liberty
Say that
Mutual.
again, because that's a lot.
Yes. So property casualty.
Okay. And what is that for us people out there? They're like, what's happening with personal casualty?
Okay. Well, property casualty is your auto, your home, your motorcycle, your boat, your ATV, the golf cart,
the toys.
Basically, home rents, rental properties, condos, anything like that is all what we consider property casualty. So if it's part of your personal property, can it have a problem? Then that's property casualty. I'm also life and health, which means I do life insurance as well as accident and health insurance. And I am licensed in Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, and Kentucky.
What's your favorite state, however?
I'm going to go with Ohio.
Oh, that is so good. That's awesome. That's awesome. No, go ahead. Continue, please.
Now, I say that, but I'm a Michigan fan.
That's okay. Somebody has to like them. I'm glad that we met the fan.
I think I have this problem because I'm also a 49ers fan. I'm originally from California. So as a lot of my friends tell me, including my best friend who is a major Ohio State Buckeye fan, he's like, it's all right. Somebody has to root for the losing team.
Right. Absolutely. Okay. So all of our toys, our body, what else?
Business insurance.
Okay. Business insurance. Why would someone need business insurance, Andrew?
Well, I have run across the occasional person who does a business, such as anything from a person who runs lawns to the occasional retail store that did not know that they need business insurance to cover them against a lawsuit or a loss in the store, or, for example, somebody getting hurt even in the store, and protecting their employees. So I do all lines, especially small business. I love small business, and small business is defined as, 1 to 500 employees realistically in the US.
That's not a small business.
But it is. That is the backbone of our economy. And believe it or not, those are all small businesses.
I think that they're less people though, aren't they?
You can
500 is a lot of people.
And it is, don't get me wrong, but sometimes 500 people does not equate to multi-billion dollars or $1 million. And
That
so
is
I
true.
think that's really where they draw the line on that as far as number of people that you employ. Um, so I help them with their options there as far as commercial insurance on their property, commercial auto, liability, getting them other options and seeing what we can help them with. The only thing you can't really do in Ohio is the um, workers' comp, which is done by the state. That has to be done by the state. It can't be done by an outside company, but other states do allow insurance companies to even help in that part. Um, and then, of course, I always make sure to offer them life insurance. I mean, it is one of the most important things that I do. I can't ever guarantee you that you're going to have a use for your auto insurance or your home insurance. You may never file a claim, but on a long enough timeline, unfortunately, we all have an expiration date. And protecting our future as well as the family is super important thing for me being a family man, but I think also for my clients. They're used to somebody that's out there trying to make money off of them and not really looking at their plans, their future, and seeing what happens for them. I'm a little different. I would rather not make money on a policy and it be the right policy for them than I would try to make a buck. I generally care about my clients when they come to me and say, hey, this is what I need to do. I want to make sure I put their priorities as the priority. I want them to understand that me helping them is my goal. So with that, we tend to see a lot of change in the industry world where you have agents like myself that really make sure our clients are the first and only priority that we have at that time.
Now, how many clients do you rotate through or touch base with on a daily basis? A lot of folks just think that you get to sit at home, right, and wait for them to call you.
Well, that is a very hard question to answer. There are some days that I may talk to individually 20 to 50, and that's a light day. And that includes everything from servicing their policies, making changes that they've requested, adding cars, etc., to sometimes 300 or more in a day. I mean, it just depends on how many people need me that day. And I don't typically work a general 9 to 5. Like I put myself as office hours, like 8:30 to usually around 6. But I take calls and questions on my cell phone at all hours of the time. I mean, I've got third shift clients that message me super late or super early. If something happens and somebody needs me for an emergency, call me. I give them my cell phone because I want them to call me and say, hey, Andrew, this is what happened.
Well, do you feel like, and I've been hearing this a lot, especially with COVID around, and the lack of folks. Do you feel like customer service or customers' expectations have decreased or been lowered in the last 2 years?
No, I would say it's more or less people finally have gotten back to what they honestly remember customer service as being. Um, that being the case, they expect, hey, when I call, I want my problem taken care of. I don't want to sit, on hold for 2 hours to talk to a computer. They want to talk to a
Right.
person that's there to help them understand what's going on because it's not normal. They want somebody to feel. I mean, the world is super crazy right now. They want some empathy there. They want to, hey, I'm having a hard time or I just don't understand what this is going on and why this has changed. Help me understand. And consequently, because we have the world the way it is, people are spending more time to learn about their insurance. So it's no longer, they don't understand what their coverages mean, even though I spend a lot of time to explain to my clients, the most often thing I run across is someone who has 2550. And what this is state minimum auto insurance for Ohio. And it means you have $25,000 in each category of property, bodily injury, and uninsured motorists, with 50,000 being the maximum that they would pay out, period. Okay. That's not really a whole lot of coverage. It's state minimum, but in all honesty, I don't like writing those unless we absolutely have to. That's what fits their budget. That's what, their needs are for right now. I like 100, 300 because in all honesty, if you hit one car or two cars even, or you have a family, I want to make sure that coverage is high enough that you don't have an out-of-pocket expense. And the sad part is there's
That
not
says a
much
lot, and
difference.
you're not just pushing the numbers or just reviewing. You're physically calculating We got a little one over there. Look, see, living a life and working at the end of the day, right?
Yep. I am a family man. Family first, agent second.
Oh, say that again.
Family first, agent second.
See, I think that's a powerful piece. They could be merged together, right? Or submerged or some type of urged at the end of the day. So now
They
back to the
can.
customer service aspect. So it seems like you go a little bit over and beyond. I've been walking into fast food restaurants. I just basically told myself, right? And a lot of these places, like we have this, I love Taco Bell, right? And I should call it something else, like Bacotel. That way, they don't get paid for, free advertising. So when I go to Bacotel, they have they have a new pass for $10. You get one taco a day. Right. That
Okay.
sounds delicious, right?
I mean, you can
So
live off
their goal,
tacos.
right? Their goal is that you go there and get your one taco for free, and then you buy $15 worth of other stuff, right? That's what they want. So if you go twice a month where you normally wouldn't have went, they've made some money on that $10 pass. So I'm gonna buy this taco pass because I am a taco fanatic. But my point is I go there and they close at 6 o'clock now because they don't have people. I walked into another restaurant over the weekend and they had a big sign that they paid to have made, not just a written with a marker, right? So they've invested in this statement or this mission or this vision that they're having that stated, and I'm going to paraphrase, please have patience, have grace. They're short staffed. Are you short staffed in Michigan? Are you having the same issue?
I mean, I would say no and
Okay.
yes. The company is always hiring. You'd be surprised. We have many different fields that we hire on, from agent all the way through the company. I mean, IT, field support staff, etc., claims adjusters. I mean, there's always openings. I would find that the company is not necessarily short-staffed as it is that we are working to fulfill a need that has risen. For example, I graduated Mayfield High School that was recently destroyed by the tornadoes. That's where I graduated high school from. That's where a lot of my family is. And to make sure that we had enough support for customers and clients and stuff down there, I mean, they send out, response teams. So they send out a big trailer, there's people helping with claims, getting food and stuff organized, making sure that we're taking care of clients. And to see that as a company from a perspective of my point of view and being part of that company and also trying to take care of my family and check on them and everything when that happened is comforting. But you actually see how much manpower goes into running something like that. And when people say, a big company is short staffed, possibly. I mean, there's people right now that have COVID and they take time away from COVID. Not everyone is as fortunate sometimes as I think as us, to be able to, okay, I'm sick, I can stay home and work, today rather than going into the office. It's the nature of our job. But at the same time, you have doctors and nurses and firemen and police officers who are all on the front lines every single day dealing with the regular public that are dealing with stuff. And then you have the unsung heroes. I mean, think about through this pandemic, so many people were pressured and had so much stress on them in the retail industry and in the service industry. And yeah, no, I think people should put up signs like that in a restaurant if they're a little bit, short staffed. Hey, please be patient for the people that showed up because
Yeah.
they can only do so much at a time.
I was chatting with a friend the other day and we were talking just about pricing and branding and word of mouth and how that piques people's interest, right? When they're watching TV. So for example, if I heard health insurance or auto insurance for $79.95, right? Or I heard or auto insurance starting at $79.95. Two totally different messages, right? The $79.95 says, hey, I can get insurance for $79.95. No, unlimited, right? That's what I think in my head. So do you find that you have to, I don't want to say price inventory, because again, what you get for $59.95 here is going to be completely different than what this $59.95 means with your agency. Do you get a lot of folks that say, hey, I need to get insurance that is $60 a month versus saying, hey, I need insurance that needs this covered and this covered and this? So I guess my question to you, Andrew, are you get people that are, do you, let's try this one more time. Apparently I can't speak this afternoon. Do you have clients that are more price conscious versus service conscious?
Yes, you do have those clients. Um, I always try to take an extra moment to explain the difference. When I talk to a client for the first time, 9 times out of 10, and I will tell you that 9 times out of 10, because 9 out of every 10 clients is not solely looking just for price. They're looking for other options. So I get to actually, hey, what is your priority? But the price client, man, he's right there. He's like,
Yeah.
I need $100 policy. Okay. I could offer you $100 policy and be a bad agent, and it's not going to cover anything. And I've met your only requirement. I would rather make sure that the coverage is correct for $100 and say, you know, my policy with the correct coverages that's better than your current policy, or at least meets the same policy, you know, is X price, and give them options. And that's where my other partnerships come in with Liberty, because we have strategic partnerships with other insurance companies. I can write a Progressive policy or Travelers policy or a nationwide policy, you know, and it's my option to do that if that's what makes more sense for the client with these partnerships. And now I can give them those options. So I try to move the price only individual into a valued individual, because if the coverage is more and they're getting more, and let's say they double their insurance and it's $1, let's say it's $101, but they're like, oh, I need a policy for $100. For
Yeah.
$1 more, I'm doubling your coverage.
Look, I'll pay the dollar. Like just go.
You know, get them to see that value. And you do have some customers that it does not matter, that is what they're after, and you give them the best option that you can. And that's the thing about insurance, is my job is to give you options of what's in the industry and meet your needs as best as I can. If somebody, for example, says, I need a $100 policy, okay, well, what are you currently paying? Well, I'm paying a $200 policy. Okay, well, you may need a $100 policy, but you're paying a $200 policy, and there doesn't seem to be a $100 policy in existence anywhere for you. We may have to reevaluate your needs, you know?
Right.
And that does happen. And sometimes, honestly, I'm not the best fit for the customer because of pricing point or coverage points. And honestly, when I'm not, I do have other friends in the industry that I will refer out to and be like, hey, can you help out this client of mine that I wasn't able to do? You know, I'm not the one all answer for everything. I try to be a one-stop shop as best I can, but no one is going to be for every single thing out there. That's why there's multiple companies and multiple agents. But if I'm not, I try to help you find the one that is. That way.
I think that's super important. Just relationships as a whole. I mean, the goal is that, again, because they're not just seeing you one time, right? They're having a relationship with you over the duration of their policies. So you have to know what's going on in their life. Hey, you know what? You just moved. You're in a better area. Your policy is going to go down. So having those conversations with your agent, you know, those recaps once a quarter, once a month, you know, whatever it is, depending on, you know, how fast you're transitioning, is critical to be able to have that, I feel.
I always tell them at the end of our initial meeting, either online, you know, some folks like to call in, some like to email, and some like to be in person. There you go. But I always tell them that I will reach out a couple of times in the year and check in on them. Even if I don't hear from them calling me, I'm going to call and ask, because they're my next door neighbors. They're people that live around me. They're my clients. But it doesn't have to be the feel sometimes like if you saw your doctor in Walmart. You couldn't say, you know, like, hey, doc, you know, you can't wave and say hi anymore. Everyone's always like, oh, I got to put my head down and I can't acknowledge that I know them. You know, I try to be as friendly as possible. Just because of what I do doesn't mean I can't be your friend. Doesn't mean I can't be sociable.
It's funny that you say that. I remember, being a military brat, and graduating overseas, we had a commissary and a naval base, and it was extremely common for me to run into my teachers on the weekend as we were shopping. And I remember the first time it happened, I was so freaked out. Like I tried to hide because I didn't want my teacher to see me with my family, right? And what we were buying, and I didn't want my parents to talk. And I'm trying to hide behind the clothes and do everything. And I remember, 1 year later, we're just walking down, and now there's my principal. And it was so common to have that camaraderie and that relationship conversation piece.
And now it's a rarity. And that's honestly why I like living in smaller towns. I love servicing both my cities and my smaller
Yeah.
towns, but I love the smaller towns for the feel of that's still there. I mean, I can tell you my banker, I can tell you my lawyer, I can tell you my doctors, I can tell you, teachers that are going to be, for my kids here in the next year. They're all around me, and I can talk to them, see them, and interact, and it's not just a number. It's not just a
Yeah.
name. It is that connection. And I think that's important for any company to have with their clients. And
Yeah, I think
especially
that's
me
huge. I think
considering.
that's huge. Well, speaking of connections, how are we able to reach out to you if we have questions, or if we want you to do an estimate? Because estimates are free, right? They're like smells.
Correct. I can always do a review for you at any time. I'm happy to look at that information and do a comparison and see what makes sense and give you the results. And like I said, I give you options. I don't say, oh, buy this policy now. I say, here's the policy that makes the most sense to me. Here's your current coverage. Here are the differences between X, Y, and Z of all of these. You can reach me out on Facebook or LinkedIn, also on the web. You can find me in the Perrysburg Liberty Mutual branch. My direct call number is 567-455-9104. My email is andrew.duncan@libertymutual.com. And I do have a bookings calendar. If you want to jump on there, you can literally click and it'll, say, hey, schedule 30 minutes for me for a life review or property casualty, or let's look at your home. And you can schedule that time. And that way I tell you, hey, this is what I'm going to go over. If you want to have your documents in front of you so we can go line by line and make sure we both understand what we're talking about. And at the same time, compare those policies as best as I can to each other.
Perfect. And you have non-operational hours, so you're kind of flexible depending on the day and what's going on
I do. I
in both of
post
our lives.
I post that on my Facebook page. I have a personal and an actual business page. Um, like I said, generally, pretty much from like 8 till around 7:30.
Okay.
I'm usually pretty good on someone calling me. I'll pick up the best I can. I am a dad, so obviously there are times when I have the kids or I'm eating dinner, or the rarest of occasion, as every parent knows, when you have little ones, sleep. Um, so that happens. So I tell my clients, look, if I don't pick up my cell phone or I don't answer my phone, leave me a message. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Send me a text, whatever. There is the occasion I'm with a customer and I can't answer two customers at once.
Yeah.
There's only one of me, but I'll get back to you as soon as physically possible. And I always make the promise, by the end of the day, you're going to hear back from me something of, hey, even if it's, I got your message, here is your information. I have clients that'll send me a text, hey, can you send me another insurance card, or can you update this policy for me? And I will, and I'll let them know, hey, it's done. Here it is. Here's your notification. Send it to your email. Please confirm. If that's the way they want to communicate, super great. They want to call back, I'm for that too. But I tell people, look, I am only one person. So there are going to be occasions when I take a vacation, and you'll know because I'll tell everybody, I'll have it on my email, my voicemail. Hey, I am out of the office. Here is somebody
Yeah.
who can help you while I am gone. But if you absolutely need me, my text number, I'll do what I can. And I tell people, look, sometimes you just need your agent. Like no one else is going to understand. And that happens. And I'm like, look, it's not a big deal. I do set my boundaries, but if there's a one-off emergency, I'm okay with that.
Boundaries are super important. So that's awesome that you are aware of your self-worth and self-care in that aspect. So you're more than welcome to reach out to Andrew. Information is up above, so you can see how to reach out and contact him via email or Facebook or his other options as well. So, well, listen, Andrew, we appreciate your time and energy today. But before we get out of here, we have questions that we ask every guest. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay, this is going to be an either or either or, depending on how you pronounce it or how your Google Assistant says it. Here it is. Juice or water?
Juice.
White or wheat bread?
Wheat.
Coffee. Oh, really? Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Scrambled or over easy?
Over easy.
Cake or donuts?
Cake.
Okay. Vanilla or chocolate? Neapolitan,
Vanilla.
right?
Well, I would say vanilla bean specifically,
Okay. Bacon or sausage?
but that's no choice. It's bacon. You had me
Really?
at the word bacon.
Okay, listen. There's this amazing bacon out there that I love. It's sausage bacon, okay, and it's textured like turkey bacon. So if you don't like the texture of turkey bacon, you're not gonna like this, right? But the flavor is so good. They have a regular and then a maple, but it's one of my favorites. It's definitely one of my favorites. Okay,
I'm
so
one of those
here,
people that could have bacon wrapped in bacon, followed by bacon, and I'd be just fine.
and a little bit more bacon on top. Right?
Just a sprinkle.
So you would love this sub that they do from Artello's. It's one of my favorite pizza places here. It's out by Owens, if you're over in the area. Okay. They're closed on Sundays, but they have a sub, and it's their baked BLT sub, right? It's 1.5 pounds of bacon, and it's all crumbled bacon. You just eating bacon. So good. I might have one tonight.
I have a feeling that I may be ordering one very quickly.
Yeah. Great pizza as well. Okay, here's the last question. This is going to determine whether or not you and I remain to be friends, because I'm actually not aware of this situation. Are you ready to risk our friendship, sir?
All right, do it.
He's like, we're not even friends anyway. I don't know who you are. Where am I? Okay, here it is. I need to see your phone. Android or Apple?
Android.
Okay, we're friends. Okay, cool. I thought I liked you. Well, listen, we appreciate you guys' time and energy today, ladies and gentlemen. Again, when you need a review, when you want a review, and even when you don't think you need a review, get a review, okay? We didn't even say what company you're with. You realize that?
I specifically did beginning, but I am with Liberty Mutual.
There you go. There you go. But at the end of the day, listen, policy after policy after policy. You're shopping for an insurance agent. You're not shopping for the policy. Check out my friend Andrew over here on Facebook. Just click that link after you get to take a listen. So appreciate your time and energy. Be safe, and we'll see you next week, ladies and gentlemen. Talk to you later.
Have a good one.